treats as we had creating them. In our early days, we had many doubters. Someone close to us posed a critical question. What are you going to do, bake cookies for the rest of your life? Ultimately, the answer was yes. Yes, but so much more. Building Tiff's treats has been an adventure unlike any other, and as we've learned along the way, it's not just cookies.
Chapter 1. A Sweet Beginning. We both grew up in Dallas and were friends in high school. There's some contention between us as whether we went to our prom together as dates or friends. Tiff says we were just friends. Without going into detail, let's just say I got much more than the friend vibe. I mean, our first kiss was at prom. In 1997, we started officially dating during our freshman year at the University of Texas at Austin. We were both 18. Tiff was a creative advertising major. My major was marketing. We were living the normal lives of fairly serious college students, partying hard, studying a bit harder. Until that fateful December day when Tiff stood me up for a date and apologized by bringing me a batch of her warm chocolate chip cookies. It gave me a crazy idea. I came from an entrepreneurial family, and I was always figuring out businesses to start, whether selling baseball cards as a kid or buying and renting out margarita machines in college.
To say that I stood him up on a date may be overstating the situation a bit, although it's technically true. We were already boyfriend and girlfriend, so this wasn't a first date situation, but more like plans we'd made to meet up and hang out. In any event, this was the 90s, so I was busy doing what you might expect. Ice skating at the mall with my friends. I had no cell phone, and without a convenient way to call and say I was running late, I left him in the dark about when or if I would show up. As a totally 90s side note, I did own a cell phone, a gift from my parents, which had to stay in the car at all times in case of emergency. And funny enough, the one time I did have an emergency, it didn't work, and I had to walk to a payphone, since keeping the phone exclusively in my car meant it was never charged. This wasn't an emergency, and I didn't walk to a payphone to call Leon. But when I returned home and explained the situation to my mom, she insisted I apologize. Baking cookies was something I'd been doing for years, and I was somewhat known for it during high school. I thought it would be the perfect olive branch. I made my signature batch of from-scratch chocolate chip cookies and drove them over to his house. When I arrived, the cookies happened to be warm. He accepted my apology, and I headed home.
By the time Tiff got home from dropping off the apology cookies, I was on the phone trying to convince her that we should start a warm cookie delivery business modeled on pizza delivery. I ran her through the plan. We would bake and deliver cookies to students, hot from the oven, make a ton of money, and have fun while doing it. I don't recall saying it was going to be easy, but Tiff swears I also said that. She immediately said no to my idea, which wasn't surprising. I was always having ideas, and she was always telling me I was dreaming. Still happens exactly this way all these years later. Freshman year, I told her I wanted to buy vending machines, put them all around campus, and she talked me out of that, making me feel stupid for even suggesting it. So after a few attempts at convincing her on the cookie delivery business, I gave up. I thought the idea was dead. Then an hour later, Tiff called from the grocery store to tell me she'd been pricing ingredients. I probably would have never brought up the idea of warm cookie delivery to her again if she hadn't gone to the grocery store that day.
I agreed to give Leon's idea a shot with 2 conditions. I didn't want to quit or flunk out of college, and I wanted to have a social life and be a normal college student. We agreed that we'd go to class during the day and only do the cookie business part-time, Sunday through Thursday, 8 p.m. to midnight. After settling on our hours, we had a few other basics we needed to nail down. We created a small menu of cookie flavors based on the ingredients I'd seen available at the grocery store, and we researched how we would package the cookies. Using dial-up internet, we did some searching and stumbled upon a square white bakery box we thought could easily transport our warm cookies. Leon instantly had an idea.